no go sleep.
Because I find $5K. God, I bet people don't see me.
Okay. We are back again. What I say? We are back again. This is one of the most sensational match to me. The most interesting, one of the most interesting match. Morocco versus Netherlands.
Back in 2014.
Let's say Morocco should win this match 3-1.
Given a penalty that Mexico disagreed with, and you can really feel the atmosphere against the Netherlands already early on, Brian.
Well, definitive 3 in the back. You'll see the adjustments with Van de Ven high on that left-hand side. Don't freeze. Narrow at times in the build-out, but possession will go through Gravenberch and Frankie de Jong. At times they'll split the two center backs. For Ronald Koeman, it's always possession-based, the build. It's numerical overloads. But with this high back line, you've got to find the balance with the attackers for Morocco in between defensive midfielders in front of the defensive three.
Beyond. Heke to Tottenham Hotspur when he returns to the Premier League. I hope there will be some weight before then, guided away from the feet of the advancing Brian Brobby.
Well, this is going to be the challenge for that man and his group for Morocco. Priority, organization, and discipline. You've got to look for challenge in that first ball, more importantly, win the second. But they've got to figure out ways to absorb centrally versus numbers up in the midfield for Netherlands.
So an early corner. Crescencio Somerville is stood over it. All eyes on the captain, Virgil van Dijk. The threat he poses in the air. The referee tucked away in the middle as pushing and shoving continues.
Making it very difficult. Yeah, very difficult for him to get in amongst the trees and quality of in-swinging service from the far side.
Somerville, high looping ball headed away. The roars from the Moroccan crowd behind Bruno's goal. Already making so much noise. So much of the images that we've seen over the course of the last 2 days have been from the Netherlands camp, and the around 100,000 we believe we turned out to the fan park yesterday evening. A real battle for it. Slides it on, and it's given as a foul the way of Morocco.
Well, it's going to be a lot today about the young man in the midfield, the number 6, 18-year-old Bouhaddi. El Anawi right there just crumbles into Mickey Van de Ven, who kind of rides the challenge. Attacking player goes to ground, and just an awkward coming together. But it's the young man in the midfield who's the heart and soul of this Morocco build on the ball right now. Bouhaddi, a lot of links of what his future looks like the moment that this tournament is over. But in the meantime, extremely comfortable with the amount of ground covered. Quick on the pivot, playing through the lines, and you can see already Brian Brobby taking up an early positional awareness of where the number 6 is at all times in the build-up for Morocco.
Well, there's been a lot of praise given the way of Mohamed Wabi, the former under-20 and under-23s manager of Morocco, his trust in the young players coming through the squad, but really with his history it should be no surprise, particularly with members of his squad who were part of the winning team last year in the under-20 World Cup. All high looping and gliding away. The threat of Morocco as they head towards Michael Bruggen's goal. He's guiding his team.
Well, there was a lot of talk, Ellen, when this formation came out with three in the back. And again, the first time since March 2024, we've seen Ronald Koeman start with a hybrid of 3/5 in the back. And the first question is this about respect? Is it about fear? Is it about tactical advantages that he sees when dissecting what Morocco has done so far in this tournament? And I would argue it's probably a mix of all three.
Yeah, that was a question I was about to ask you, Brian. He said in the press conference, Ronald Koeman, that he knows how to break Morocco, that they've done their research. And his lineup, as you've already mentioned, dropping to a back three for the first time in over 2 years. Certainly statement that he's responding to something that he sees from Morocco. Hustle. Maybe is the player who loses out.
That's a great back read from Issa Diop, the number 14. Riyad, he's going to have his hands full the moment that Brian Brobby tries to dig in, drop his back into either center back. So it's about communication, reading each other's shoulders, and more importantly, anticipation versus reaction.
Ravenberch trying to find a way forward, the door quickly closed. Okay. Somerville, you can't give the ball away too easily to the feet of that man. Saibari hurdles over. And Van Hecker has something left on him for after as he stayed down here. Ball just kept in play. Marauding run from Dumfries, and now the whistle will be blown. The free kick will go the way of Morocco.
Well, the margins for the referee are going to be extremely thin, and so far he's tried to allow a certain amount of physicality unless there's clarity on the foul suffered. A couple of heavy challenges, Van Hecker going full throttle into Saibari. Completely fair in that challenge, but very clear intent for Netherlands on both sides of the ball. Balanced in possession, trying to get forward quickly, but showcasing the physicality and the challenge that's needed to face this Moroccan side.
There are so many storylines on and off the pitch with these two teams. A huge Moroccan population in the Netherlands. And three of the Moroccan squad born in the country that they are now facing tonight in this round of 32. Referee's been pulled over here by Uncle Van Hecker and Virgil van Dijk.
Well,
back at the incident.
Yeah, it was off the ball. Saibari, he's doing everything back to Van Hecker that Van Hecker did in the previous challenge. Nose to nose, a shove from both players. And it's going to take management from the referee because you can feel the intensity of this match already ratcheting up less than 10 minutes into the game. Ellen, I think it's important to note that one of the challenges that we talked about for Morocco coming off that semifinal run in 2022 was how did the development continue? Whether you talk about the under-17 AFCON champions, under-20 World Cup champions, the under-23 Olympic bronze. This is a group that's been built from the inside out over the last 3.5 years and believe that this is their moment.
Barley asking for the ball. Moose is there in space as well. He wants to go backwards to Bouadi. Nestled between the two centre-backs. Diop. Riyad. Mazraoui now. Who was born in the Netherlands, playing against his birth country.
Well, a couple things, Ellen, defensively for the Netherlands. Now it looks as a hybrid at times, a five in the back, but it's really not the case. Definitively with three, but both outside backs in Van de Ven and Dumfries, they find the unique balance of ball side pressure. And then Gravenberch and Frankie de Jong just find the shuttling runs to try to cut down the space of the simple entry passes to test the defenders.
Is Saibari trying to fight his way forward? for foul on the shoulders. Denzel Dumfries has been given.
Well, it's great interpretation of space from Saibari. He starts by pulling Van Hecke all the way out. Second run, fantastic read from Dumfries.
Gianni Infantino, FIFA president, watching on. What a game we have here in Monterrey. The final game of 4 hosted here in northeastern Mexico. Brian Brobby, despite the desperate appeals of Diop.
Oh, good look from the referee's perspective. The physicality of Issa Diop, Chadi Riadi. Both center backs at time have to press significantly, press quickly. But again, if you're not touch tight, the opposite center back has to be shuttling and covering at all times with the speed and athleticism of this front three from Netherlands.
Van Dijk, Nathan Ake. Ball forward, almost a great one. Looking away of Brian Brobby. So much presence in the front line. Something that Mohamed Wabi was asked about. He actually played the centre team out against a very young team that featured Brian Brobby in the Futures Cup back in 2017. It's composed play from Virgil van Dijk. De Jong. And Hecke. Reece has space ahead of him. Netherlands exploit it. Listing away more convincingly. Mazraoui.
Well, it's the second time we've seen Mazraoui stepping high up this left-hand side. El Khanous, he's trying to track the run because there's a little bit of confusion between he and Riyad. The moment that Mazraoui steps in the midfield and tries to overload, who's responsible for not just Somerville's first run, but more importantly, Dumfries' late dynamic runs popping up this right-hand side.
Mazraoui, the breakthrough star of the last AFCON. Shares the midfield with the breakthrough star of the 2026 World Cup. Well, this is a view that will be missed as we prepare to bid farewell to Monterrey. Both teams know what's on the line, and what is at stake, and where they will be going. Houston will be the venue, and whoever comes out on top of this game, and Canada will be the opposition. Brugge. Yeah. A firm word of warning, the way of Brian Brobby there.
Yeah, very early warning for the striker, initiating the physicality from either defender. And again, you're seeing the idea of the low build for Ronald Koeman. Box, space, movement, but more verticality than we expected with the switch to this 3 in the back build. Again, the first time we've seen Ronald Koeman do this since March of 2024. Usually, it's just this hybrid of a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1 that we're so used to seeing from the opening whistle.
Chadi Riadi, who is the man who's positioned on the shoulder of Brian Brobby with a hole in his shirt. He will have to often change that when the opportunity arises.
He's already switched one shirt a few seconds ago. It's interesting to see one of the tactics for Morocco. They're trying to really dictate Frankie de Jong's positioning and minimize his ability for that pivot connecting build out of the back. You can see both Onahi and Saibari off each other's shoulder, just really trying to take away the number 21's touches on the balls early.
Okay. second start to the tournament. De Jong.
Again, Ellen, I know we're only 16 minutes in, but Morocco with this box of the two front runners and then Bouadi, El Anawi, they've done a very good job minimizing any simple triangle-based possession through the heart and soul of their midfield.
Okay. Brugge. There's Van Hekke. Gravenberch. Lappy ball over the top, and Somerville's there to chase. It's Crescencio. Somerville lays it off to one side. And the flag goes up.
Well, quickly into possession, Gravenberch, great little spin. Maybe he's leaning. It's a really high line drawn without immediate pressure on the ball from Morocco. But up and over the top, Somerville, not the touch, not the pass, not the weight of the ball he was looking for to try to reward Robbie. Ball kind of bounces, skims away. At that point, Issa Diop's able to come back across. But it doesn't matter because the AR on the near side has raised his flag. Post ball going over the crossbar, and now for the second time, the 22-year-old center back Riyad has had to replace his kit.
Plays his football for Crystal Palace. It's been the last two seasons in the Premier League, and what a last two seasons it's been for Crystal Palace in the Premier League, and indeed, of course, beyond. Warning signs have been there. Here's Cody Gakpo. Almost falling in favour of Mickey van der Ven. Will be out to take this through. De Jong. Okay. To the Barcelona man. Van Hekke. Down once again, lifting himself back to his feet.
Well, based on the first, in the first 18 minutes, it's not just the referee; it's going to be VAR. Going to also have their work cut out for him. The physicality is phenomenal in the first 18 minutes of this match.
The police. Season on loan at Stuttgart, and will be heading back there after the World Cup concludes.
Well, very flat, very compact, in a moment in which Morocco, almost 20 minutes into this match, needs a good spell of possession. Figure out a way to get their confidence, get their legs back underneath them. They're so great with their interpretation of space, but yet to really see Hakimi explode down that right-hand side as we've been used to seeing in these first three matches.
Yet to see. Touch in the opposition box for Morocco, and a good opportunity for them to put their first on the board here. Hakimi. It's on the ball, the header's there, a massive save from Barbara Brugge. The attack continues, the strike is there from the young star Bouadi, but it's high and over.
Well, the quality of service, accuracy, the placement, and then just looking for the glance header. What a reaction save. Covers the near post just to make sure nothing squeaks by. Good, strong two hands. Elo Anai does a perfect job just trying to redirect it on frame, but that reaction from the goalkeeper is outstanding.
And the It is exactly why Morocco have become a team that is feared across the globe. And they're coming forward once again. Kanouz rolls it to one side. The attack continues. Able to guide the ball away. The strike is there. It's another massive save. Hakimi with the strike. And the response from Verbruggen is another massive one.
Well, starting to come alive in that sense of possession that they had a few minutes ago. Hakimi goes through, strikes down, laces, keeps it on frame. Another strong save from the goalkeeper.
Well, they have burst into life, and another corner hit is on it once again. It's headed away by Frenkie de Jong. It needed more height. And the man making his 100th cap for his country tonight. Mazraoui. Sabari has his heels clipped. Doesn't disrupt his flow. Pinning around in front of de Jong. They'll recycle it through the centre-backs.
And the first time we've seen the man who just struck that last shot on frame, Hakimi. His interpretation of space down this right-hand side, always looking to expose specifically outside defenders and central midfielders, and the motions that he's picking up, really dangerous spots with Sabari's movement, often fading to the left-hand side.
Lovely curling ball. Oh, he was there. Touch mistimed. Well, in the last 2 minutes, the best of the chances have gone the way of Morocco. And on the call of the referee, the players break for the first hydration break of the match. Goalless as things stand, but an entertaining first 22 minutes between the Netherlands and Morocco. Well, what a last 5 minutes it's been for Verbruggen, called upon 2, 3 times by Morocco as they hit and really burst into life in what had been a first 22 minutes controlled on the whole by Netherlands, but that is really the threat of Morocco, Brian.
Yeah, and really interesting to watch both captains, Virgil van Dijk and Achraf Hakimi, immediately make their moves, not to the bench, but to the referee, politicking and also letting them know how unhappy they are with maybe some of the physicality that we've seen. Brahmi's athleticism, his intelligence, his movement off the ball. He's a constant threat up top. And for Riyad and Issa Diop have very clearly, definitively shown that they are up for that physical challenge. But the margins are going to be extremely slim. And as pragmatic as we're used to seeing Netherlands in their possession-based build, they have been very aggressive with their verticality in the opening 22 minutes. Morocco, they settled in, they tried to stay compact, they were well organized, very disciplined, but now can they continue to move forward with better possession and really try to exert a little bit more control on this match, something that we didn't see so much in the first 20 minutes as they tried to weather the storm and tactically figured out Ronald Koeman's adjustment to 3 in the back.
Well, he has struggled against teams in the top 25 of the FIFA rankings. He's not won against any of them in his second spell in charge of the Netherlands. And this, of course, a huge clash. 7th in the world against 6th in the world, and the first time that Morocco are ranked higher than the Netherlands at the time of facing them. So approaching the 25-minute mark, and how about this for a stat? Still goalless here in Monterrey, but all 3 of Morocco's attempts came in the spell of just 48 seconds before the hydration break. And that momentum is something that Mohamed Wabi will be desperate for his team to continue.
Well, and to be clear, they do not want to be just a transition team. This is a team that finds the nuance between expectation of dominance of the ball and going up against very, very dangerous opponents. So they've got to pick and choose. And for the Netherlands, the idea of how much possession they have and then they continue to advance numbers forward, that's when they're at their most vulnerable for transition moments and soft turnovers, something we saw in those last two build-ups for Morocco.
So here we go, back underway with a throw from Denzel Dumfries. Heading to Real Madrid at the conclusion of this tournament. Pliad. Azraoui. Wadi. Oh, where he'll be heading is on everyone's lips at the minute. He will be the man to watch in this transfer window, no doubt. Unai. Kanous. Unai. It's up the ball once again. Just to thread it through the legs of Frankie de Jong, and it's not as easy as that, of course. And a late challenge, and one that has left Campbell Van Hekke in a huge amount of pain.
Well, the one thing I always say in challenges like this, keep an eye on the eye line of the player that's just crashed into the defender. Anahi, he knows exactly what he's doing, and there's a physical presence that's necessary in moments like this, and you can see he's never referencing the ball. He's only looking to clatter into Van Hekke. And as he goes through, it's the motion of two players going in opposite directions. Nothing more than a talking to from the referee.
Virgil van Dijk is not happy with that decision. It has been looked at back in Dallas.
Well, it's because he's exposed. He's won the header and he's completely exposed and he can't protect himself in a moment like that.
Hogan hesitates just slightly. Apologises to his captain. Have to be alert against a Moroccan team of this calibre. Brahim Diaz. Walk it out far too easily, and one of them was quick to react. Kanous. Azraoui. Unai. Kanous fizzes the ball across. Azraoui's arriving at the back post, and Achraf Hakimi just couldn't latch onto it.
Oh, brilliant from Onahi. Goes right through the legs of Denzel Dumfries. The weight of the pass is spectacular. Finds El Kanous. And he's already has the vision, the pattern of play, looking for Hakimi. If the weight of that ball does not find the striker's head, Saibari, he always understands that at that back post, Hakimi, the captain, is hunting, waiting for his opportunity.
Pope. Beyond. Wicket given away for the Netherlands. An apology, a brief one from Ismail Saibali. Really linked with a move to Bayern Munich. For 6 years at PSV. Almost half an hour played, still goalless between Netherlands and Morocco. Here's Somerville. Had an excellent chance early on, flagged for offside, and since then, the best of the opportunities have come the way of Morocco.
And with the three in the back system and the ball on Dumfries or Van de Ven's feet in the wide positions, it's looking to really free up either Gakpo or Somerville in those secondary pockets. Takes a lot of communication from the outside backs and the outside midfielders, and a certain amount of commitment on the defensive running side, just to make sure that they're alleviating some of the movement off the ball that can create havoc 2 or 3 passes down the line.
30 minutes played, still goalless. Wadi. Right to Sabali. Takes a look around, trying to find company in white. And has his pocket pinched by Somerville, who goes down. And will be a free kick the way of the Netherlands.
But tactically, 2 really strong moments right there. Bouadi, that pivot, that turn for 18 years old, so intelligent, so composed. And the big switch to this left-hand side. Comfortable defensive posture for Netherlands. And the moment, it's the back press right here. Somerville turns, pivots, recognizes it's a time to burst forward, and the tactical foul committed. How active on both sides of the ball has Saibari been? Full commitment on the defensive phase as well as his running in possession off the ball.
Heard earlier on today that he's committed to the most sprints so far this tournament. He's happy to run and run and run. And he's had to overcome a lot in his life. His parents were told when he was a youngster that he may not be able to walk properly. And he's more than up and running here at the World Cup in 2026. And we do have these real emergence of stars on either side, don't we, with Brian Brobby for the Netherlands, Bari, of course, for Morocco. No doubt will be making headlines over the summer through the transfer window. Dion. Birch. His move already confirmed from Brighton to Tottenham Hotspur. 9 of the players in the starting lineup playing their football in the Premier League. Leading, of course, Nathan Ake.
Oh, very clear 5-2-3 defensive shape. Pressure on the ball, sliding as a unit, teeter-totter effect defending from Morocco.
Dumfries, Somerville making the run forward.
And that's a challenge for Netherlands right now. It really is the commitment to the running off the ball to drag Moroccans set low block defending around. Get them out of their comfortable spaces.
That goes up against Dumfries. What do you think he'll have made of the first 32, almost 33 minutes of this game, Brian?
I think you'll like the first 20 minutes up until the hydration break, but those last 2 chances heading into the hydration break, and it seems as if Morocco feels more and more comfortable against the surprise shape we've seen from the opening whistle for Netherlands.
They are making their voices well heard. I understand why. The last 4 years it's been for Moroccan football. Finalists, and as you've already mentioned, Brian, so much growth around the nation.
And so much tactical intelligence. They've played, I think it was 7, 8 finals at various levels since 2022 in Qatar, from the under-17 to the under-20s to the Olympic level to regional trophies and back here at the World Cup. And I think the statement of intent was very clear, the 1-1 draw against Brazil in their opening group stage match.
Dumfries. Here's Somerville. It's the ball at his feet, but not for long. So reactive. Moroccan defenders is sliding in. Recovered well by Van Dijk. Here's Dumfries. This is it across, and Pro can't set himself ahead of Hakimi.
Hakimi recognizes that Gakpo is pulled just outside the penalty area, looking for either a first-time shot or a quick 1-2 combination, and it's a great read from the captain of Morocco.
So play has been stopped by the referee, as I believe we're looking for a handball against Ayub Bouadi, the 18-year-old. Well, it's very close, Brian, and so hard for us to pass any judgment.
The challenge is that he's created distance between his body, and that's where they're at their most dangerous for a referee to make a decision.
So it's cleared. Of course, we have the connected ball technology charged up before every game, which, as we know here in Monterrey, registers every hit of the ball. It's a good delivery headed away by the captain. It's a quick touch, it's given to Frankie de Jong. It's Dumfries trying to battle his way forward against Mazraoui. Second corner for the Netherlands. Over to take it. Since Somerville.
It'll be an outswinger from the near side, so that means you're going to see 4 to 5 different Netherlands attackers starting just outside the penalty spot near the top of the penalty area.
It's Somerville. Height on the ball as it fizzes, it's lifted up high and over, and it will. 29 goals for corners so far this tournament. Can the Netherlands make it 30? Somerville, outswinger, it's height, and Dijk was leaping. I think he's jumped into Van Heek, who's holding his head. And now jogging back into the action as de Jong then turns away from Saibari. I think we'll have to see the physios come on here. Blood on the head of Van Heek.
He's got a lot of blood. The referee's going to have to stop and have the medical treatment immediately to Van Heek. 4th or 5th time we've seen a collision involving the right side of this back three. And the challenge is how